Hey y'all, Shayla here. Join me as I pack up and get ready to leave this office space and head back home after a day of working on Bible study planning for my Deeper Than Devotionals women's Bible study community. Something that's been on my mind here lately is the change that's happening in not only my personal life, but professional life. If you've known me for any length of time, you know that I am an entrepreneur. You probably met me as an entrepreneur if we met online. And I was on a little app called Periscope, started back in 2016. And I had been doing many businesses off and on for a while, but I really just kind of took off in 2016 when I made a decision. I made up my mind to be a stay-at-home mom some years before. I wanted to be there with my kids. Eventually, I ended up taking both of them out of school and homeschooling them. And my business took off in 2016. Long story short, I made my first $25 online selling what I didn't know was actually an ebook. And I was helping people work from home, moms in particular, women in particular. And I expanded that into online classes, Zoom classes, taught about mystery shopping, how to make money the legit way, et cetera, et cetera. I ended up going to a conference in Maryland, slept in the airport overnight because I was determined to get what I needed. And I just knew that God had something bigger for me. I had prayed and God told me to get on Periscope. I didn't understand it quite at the time, but I just had this urgent feeling like you just got to get on Periscope. And if you really listen to the voice of God, He will always lead you and guide you in the direction that you need to go, even if it seems weird and off. And I feel like I'm in that place again. I've always talked about God, always talked about ministry, always talked about the impact that being a believer, a Christian, having faith in God has been the leading point in my life. Everything good in my life, everything that I've survived, everything that I've overcome is because of my love and my understanding for who I am in Jesus Christ and who God is, even when I didn't understand it fully. But I've come to learn my identity over the last several years, and it has changed the trajectory of my life. I talk about my story of getting into nursing school, having to walk away from nursing school when the vaccine mandates came down. I refused to get it based on what I heard God clearly tell me to do when I wasn't even asking Him the question. And I walked away from nursing school only to be administratively dismissed because I didn't comply and get the vaccine. And I was devastated. I was 4 months from graduating, something that I had wanted to do since I was 9 years old. And here I was finding myself in my late 30s, going into my 40s, and I had met the dream that I wanted, but because God said no, I could not finish because He told me to walk away because He did not want me to get the vaccine. Many people didn't understand it, family and friends, and I was okay with that. And I learned a big lesson in that process. When God is telling you something, you have to move according to His will. It will pay off for you in the end. Obedience. We hear a lot of talk about obedience is better than sacrifice. I wasn't sure exactly what I was sacrificing at that time, but I knew I had to be obedient. And because of my obedience, I was eventually able to go back, enroll in a brand new school almost 2 years later, and complete nursing. And now that I'm on the other side of actually completing nursing school, things look much different than I expected them to. Yes, I'm a nurse by trade, but in this season, just barely 6 months after graduating, I have had these conversations with God back and forth about being in ministry full time. I don't know exactly what that will look like over the next 6 months, over the next year. I have some ideas. I have some clues that God has given me. But I say all of this to say, listening to God, no matter what is going on in your life, even when it doesn't make sense, even when you're not sure, you have to have a level of trust that's almost crazy. You have to be trusting Him when it doesn't make sense to anyone else. And I believe all of the seasons prior, the nursing season, sleeping in the airport to go to a business conference that actually changed my business life and allowed me to make $100,000 in 5 months from an online business that started with a piece of paper to going to nursing school, completing nursing school at the timing that God had for me, and now being in a season to where I'm done with nursing school. I am a nurse. I've worked as a nurse. I enjoy the nursing field, but now God is calling me into a new season. And a lot of times people won't understand that. Oh my gosh, how could you struggle to get through something, get dismissed, get back in, graduate, and now that's not your full time focus? God. That's the only answer I can give. And whether anybody ever understands it, whether anybody ever can make sense of it, it doesn't matter. It's what God is leading me to do that is my focus. And so, as I continue to share content here on YouTube and all of my social medias, I hope that you will know one thing for sure. It's not just the content that I'm sharing, it's the obedience behind it. Obeying God and being consistent are the two biggest pieces of business advice and life advice from a woman that is now 44 years old that I could ever give anyone. I wish someone would have told younger Shayla, being consistent and building your trust in God, learning how to discern and hear his voice is going to be the difference between you being in alignment with what he wants you to do and having a life that you have to start over and stop and start over. Once I started trusting God completely, once I started really listening and discerning his voice, things completely, absolutely changed for me in life and business, which ultimately makes an impact for my family, my husband, and my kids, all because I trust God. Every day is not easy, even in this new season of doing ministry full time and building an online ministry, which is sometimes mocked, sometimes not taken as serious as being behind a pulpit stall or being all across the world speaking and being on panels. I am staying in my lane, doing what God has called me to do. And everything else that comes after that is all in God's timing. I'm here to do what God has called me to do. And I hope that by my obedience, the impact and the responsibility that He allows me to have into His children will shine brightly. That light will be so bright that others will want to know, they'll desire to know the God that I serve simply because I was obedient to what He has called me to do in this season. If you are wondering what's next, God, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? If this new year feels just like another year to you, stop. Take some time. Ask God, what is it that I'm supposed to do? And you may be surprised at his answer. It could simply be the last thing that he told you to do is what he wants you to do now. Trust God. Don't lean to your own understanding. Don't rely on others to make a way for you, to interpret what God is saying to you. Ask God. He will tell you. He will lead you. He will guide you. Don't let anybody knock you off your square. Obedience and consistency. If you see now on my YouTube channel, I'm starting seemingly from scratch. Even though I've been on YouTube for several years, this is the first time I've taken it serious. I'm uploading content almost every single day or every other day. I have a membership that is growing slowly but surely. I am impacting people's lives in a positive way. If I had really known that going all out and doing business for God completely, absolutely, would have impacted my life the way it is because I feel so full. I feel like I'm really where I'm supposed to be. I would have did it years ago. But I thank God for every journey, every misstep, every lesson learned, every sacrifice made, every airport slept in, every nursing school dismissal. I thank God I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I hope that this will encourage you to do more of what God is calling you to do. And if you are interested in learning and going deeper in your Bible studies, join us at deeperthandevotionals.com. You can get an absolutely free copy of the Identity Bible Study, Knowing Your Identity in Jesus Christ, because that is the foundation of where it all starts. If you know whose you are, you understand who you are, and that is going to allow you to stand up against whatever comes your way because you know God has created you for such a time as this. Consistency and obedience is key. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.